We tend to use the word narcissist to describe a person who is self-centered and short on empathy. But it's important to remember that narcissistic personality disorder is a legitimate mental health condition that requires diagnosis by a mental health professional. Still, people can exhibit some narcissistic characteristics without having a disorder. In this video, we will look at some practical ways to deal with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic tendencies. Let's go! Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. If this is your first time on this channel, I'm here to serve you with tips and strategies to achieve your dreams, unleash your true potential, and live an awesome life. So if you like these kinds of videos, I invite you to subscribe to my channel down below and hit the bell button so you get a notification every time I post a new video. Practically everyone has either worked for a narcissistic boss or been exposed to one in some capacity. It's an unforgettable experience. It's a bad experience. Let's dive a little deeper into this matter. People with narcissistic personalities are often quite self-absorbed. They have an inflated sense of self, needing constant praise. They take advantage of others, and they do not recognize or care about the needs of others. To make things more complicated, people with narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic tendencies are often very sensitive to criticism, despite their high self-esteem. A narcissistic person spends an enormous amount of time thinking about achieving power, influence, and success. As a result, there is a tendency to lie and exaggerate the truth to feel self-important. But the biggest problem with a narcissistic person is that they never feel they are the problem. Thankfully, there are ways to deal with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic tendencies. Here are 6 powerful moves that will help you deal and keep you from feeding the narcissistic behavior. See them for who they really are. When they want to, those with narcissistic personalities are pretty good at turning on the charm. You might find yourself drawn to their grand ideas and promises. This can also make them particularly popular in work settings. But before you get drawn in, watch how they treat people when they are not on stage. If you catch them lying, manipulating, or blatantly disrespecting others, there is no reason to believe they won't do the same to you. Despite what someone with a narcissistic personality may say, your wants and needs are likely unimportant to them. And if you try to bring up this issue, you may be met with resistance, and sometimes big resistance. The first step in dealing with someone who has a narcissistic personality is simply accepting that this is who they are. There is not much you can do to change that. Stop focusing on them. When there is a narcissistic personality in your orbit, attention seems to gravitate their way. That's by design. Whether it's negative or positive attention. Those with narcissistic personalities work hard to keep themselves in the spotlight. You might soon find yourself buying into this tactic, pushing aside your own needs to keep them satisfied. If you're waiting for a break in their attention-seeking behavior, it may never come, no matter how much you adjust your life to suit their needs. It's never going to be enough. If you must deal with a narcissistic personality, don't allow them to infiltrate your sense of self or define your world. You matter too. Regularly remind yourself of your strengths, desires, and goals. Take care of yourself first and remind yourself that it's not your job to fix a narcissistic person. By the way, I gave you the same advice when it comes to jealousy and envy. I suggest you watch my video How to Deal with Insecurity, Jealousy and Envy. The link is below. Don't try to change these people. It's almost impossible. Set clear boundaries. A person with a narcissistic personality is often quite self-absorbed. They might think they are entitled to go where they want, snoop through your personal things, or even tell you how you should feel. Maybe they give you unsolicited advice and take credit for things you have done. They may also have little sense of personal space, so they tend to cross a lot of boundaries. More often than not, they don't even see them. That's why you have to be abundantly clear about boundaries that are important to you. So set clear boundaries. Someone with a narcissistic personality typically starts to pay attention when things start affecting them personally. Expect them to push back. If you stand up to someone with a narcissistic personality, you can expect them to respond. If you speak up and set boundaries, they may come back with some demands of their own. They may also try to manipulate you into feeling guilty or believing that you are the one being unreasonable and controlling. They might make a play for sympathy. Be prepared to stand your ground. If you take a step backward, they won't take you seriously next time. Remember that you're not at fault. A person with a narcissistic personality isn't likely to admit a mistake or take responsibility for hurting you. Instead, they tend to project their own negative behaviors onto you or someone else. You might be tempted to keep the peace by accepting blame, but you don't have to belittle yourself to salvage their ego. You know the truth. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Find a support system. If you can't avoid the person, try to build up your healthy relationships and support network of people. Spending too much time in a dysfunctional relationship with someone who has a narcissistic personality can leave you emotionally drained. Rekindle old friendships and try to nurture new ones. Get together with your tribe more often. If your social circle is smaller than you would prefer, try taking a class to explore a new hobby. Get active in your community or volunteer for a local charity. Do something that allows you to meet more people you feel comfortable with. There are much more ways to deal with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic tendencies. I'll make more videos about this interesting subject. Please leave your remarks in the comments below. I'm always interested in your opinion. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it and share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Join this positive and amazing community. Take care.